Sister Silverine, Ambassador Extraordinaire of PAIN, Parental Alienation Awareness International Network, and we are talking about From Pain to Healing, where we're going to have a series of talks on Sundays from 5:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Sankhya TV. Thank you.
Sister Silverine, once again, I'm glad to be here sitting with you having these conversations. And today's topic, following up from the last couple topics, is a bit heavy, it's a bit serious, although all our conversations are in a way serious. But this one specifically, we are dealing with the issue of parental alienation. We spoke about loveless marriages, that some lead to breakup, some don't, but the effect on the child might be the same. Mm-hmm. The question arises in my mind is, what kind of parent or parents use their children for their own selfish gains, and do the parents even realize the effect it will have on the child or children?
Mm-hmm. Good. So here we're looking at a relationship where there's a mother, a father, parents and a child, and for whatever reason the marriage of this couple did not work out well. So there is some kind of fighting and violence in the relationship, and each parent individually are using the child as a medium to get to the other parent. And worse even, if the child is with one parent at a time, it makes the situation worse. So here we have, let's take a look at the child being with his mother, for example. So the child is with the mother for the week, during the week, and on weekends the child goes with the father. But while the child is with the mother kind of, let us call it, psychologically play with that child's mind in such a way where she tries to put that child's mind against the father, so that the child will not have that amount of maybe love, respect, or regard towards the father, because the mother knows that the father is having another relationship, and so doesn't want her child to go into that other relationship, because we know what step parents do. In a very, very rare occasion, you may get a step parent who would wholeheartedly accept a stepchild. Very, very rare occasion. Normally, it's on the contrary. So here, this mother is psychologically playing on that child's mind, where she puts into his or her mind negative comments, negative situations and issues about the father. And it could be both ways, where the father is also doing the same against the mother, because the mother went on and get married also. So when the spouses, the exes go and they have other relationships, then they begin to use this child as the medium to break up that other relationship. So this child who is in the middle, who is being used as, I don't want to say a scapegoat, but like a puppet, because the child is being used. And this child is being used and is being thrown from this side to the other side, like a football. And on both sides, he is receiving all these kinds of negative comments about either mother or father. Where mother is putting the child's mind against the father and father is putting this child's mind against the mother. Because both want to have custody of this child. Because they know that through this child they may have, between commas, child maintenance. So they use this child for many reasons. To get to each other, one, or even to destroy each other. To get to each other, or even to destroy each other. So let's say this child is living with the mother. Mother is not allowing the father to see this child. There is no communication with the father. Because this mother has taken total custody or care of this child. Because she doesn't want this child to have anything to do with the father, because the mother thinks that the father is influencing this child in a negative way. And vice versa. I have to say vice versa because it could be both ways. The father could have the child and doesn't want the child to go to the mother because the mother may be an alcoholic or the mother may be on drugs or having other relationships which is even bad for this child. But now this child that is in the middle of this relationship is being fed, his mind is being fed with so much negativities that it comes to a point where this child starts getting frustrated. Frustrated to such a point that sometimes he don't want to see neither mother, neither father. So he prefer to go to grandmother or grandfather. Or that child starts looking for love outside. Because children need love. In each human soul need love. And we boil back to the same point again. They need love, they need care, they need nurturing, they need attention, they need acceptance. There are so many things that every human being needs in order to grow positively. And so here you have this child receiving so much negative energy in his mind. What starts happening in that child's mind? Let's say you have a plant and you begin to pour hot oil on this plant. What will eventually happen to that plant? Because negativity is like hot oil. It is burning you inside. Think about each time you get angry. Here you are, angry because someone did not return the call that you expect them to return. Who knows what situation that one may be in, that he was not able to return the call. So because he is not answering your calls, what starts happening inside of you? You are boiling up. Boiling up means you are angry inside. Who is suffering? Is it that other individual or is it you? So who is suffering each time you get upset, angry, aggressive, moody? Or you have jealousy, or you have hate, or you have criticism? Who is suffering? Is it another person? Is it someone else? Or is it you? And whatever you are going through, when you talk to your child in this harsh manner, in this aggressive way, out of anger, out of hate, out of, who knows, envy, what are you doing to your child? It's like feeding that plant with something to destroy it, hot oil. So what you're doing to your child's mind, you are destroying an individual. You are damaging someone. You are actually killing an individual. You are killing someone. And that is very dangerous. Anger kills. Ego kills. Greed kills. Attachment kills. Lust kills. Because if you look at the majority of the relationships today, they have all of these 5 negative emotions: lust, anger, greed, ego, and attachment. And whatever relationship has these 5 negative emotions or vices present in that relationship, you would realize that those relationships will have fighting and quarreling, violence. But if you think about yourself, imagine yourself without these 5 vices, how will you be? So the battle in the end is not with others or because of others. The battle finally is because of me. Because if each individual do not have any of these vices within them, if I do not have anger, if I do not have ego, if I do not have greed, attachment, lust within me, then I will have the opposite, which is love, peace, happiness, wisdom, power, etc. So the fight here is between vices and virtues. So we tend to blame others, always blame others for whatever we are going through. Because we say, well, he spoke to me harshly, so I answered him back. And that's how the argument began. But even if someone speaks to you harshly, or someone speaks to you rough, as we say, and you do not have the anger, as we say, on the tip of your nose, you did not get angry even though that one spoke to you in anger, we avoid a conflict. So let's say the other individual may be harsh or rough or angry, but you are not. So here we are avoiding conflict, because even though he is angry, so what? His anger will subside. But if both sides are suffering with all these angers and irritation and aggressiveness and egos, ego is one of the main reasons why relationships cannot work. Not so much lust, not so much anger, not so much greed, but you see the ego, it is destructive. It is destroying relationships. It's one of the main vices in a relationship that will destroy any relationship. Because sometimes even spouses compare themselves, If you have a wife working for a bigger salary than you, somehow the man feels little, I don't say dominated, but less. They feel lower because their wife is earning a higher salary. So what is playing the game there? Ego. It's my wife. We have come together to form a relationship. So even though she's working for a higher salary, so what? Whatever she worked for is mine also, because we are a couple. So once the ego is in a relationship, there will be a problem in that relationship. And this is the reason why relationships are not able to work out. Because one of these vices are playing a higher role. Either there is egos or attachments. 2 things.
Now, your explanation is very broad, I think, and I want to try to narrow it down a bit. Although you touch on all of it, I think, but we will extract an answer, which is, okay, so a relationship did not work out between a husband and wife, and there's a child involved in between, And obviously there are two, let's say, forces trying to dominate this child, which is the father and the mother. Let's say one person does not want to dominate, and that is why they left the relationship. They said, okay, I am not a dominating person, I don't want to argue, I don't want to fight. So but they have to deal with the ex, they have to support the child financially, emotionally, probably educationally, try to teach the child some things. But the ex is trying to be dominating. They are trying to wreak havoc. They are trying to break up your new relationship in a certain way. How does one deal with that scenario? What is the first way to approach, let's say, dealing with someone who is being aggressive towards you and using your child as a medium to do so?
You know, there is a saying that says sometimes words don't work. Because sometimes you could be talking, and there's a lot of talks happening in the relationship, and none seem to be going anywhere or reaching anywhere. But I believe in vibrations. I believe in positivity. I believe in positive vibrations. I believe in energy. And let's say, okay, I had a spouse who was like, let's say, aggressive. And it's impossible to talk to him or her because she is always impulsive, means she gets upset and angry for anything and everything. So what am I going to do? I cannot have a conversation with her or him because he is like this. I brand him like this because that's the way he is. That's the way I see that individual. I always see that individual upset, angry, aggressive, etc. So what am I going to do? So since I believe in energy, I believe in vibrations, I believe in what we send out, it reaches the target. The human mind is such that we have the power to achieve whatever we want. Do you know that? This is a secret. So if the human mind is so powerful, which means every thought that I create, an energy that I am generating, and we are constantly producing energy. So since I am constantly producing energy, which is vibrations, these vibrations naturally will flow out, which means it goes out into the atmosphere. Now let's say you live Princestown or wherever you live. If I remember you the way you are, wherever you may be in the world, you are going to get that vibration. You're going to pick up that thought. Why? Thoughts are power. Thoughts are energy. Let's take, for example, you are thinking about someone, and then suddenly your phone rang. And who is on the other side of the line? The one who you were thinking about. How did it happen? Thought power. Your thoughts reach that other side. And that one decided, let me give this one a call. It's not by guess. It's a two-way communication. And this is what we call yoga also. Yoga means a communication. Yoga means a connection. So here I have this individual who I'm not able to, let's say, start a proper conversation with because he's always upset or angry. So how am I going to get through to him? So, thoughts. I think about that one. But I think about him in a pure and positive way. Not in a negative way, in a positive way. I create pure thoughts about that one. And so each time I think about that individual, and I send a positive thought to him, positive energy will reach him. Let's say I send him a thought of, may you be peaceful today. Or may you be loveful today. Or may you be happy today. Those positive thoughts or affirmations will definitely reach that individual, whether you know it or not. How does it work? The mother is in the home, for example, doing her chores, and her mind suddenly runs on that child that is in school. Why did it happen? That child would have fallen, and the first person he would think about is his mother. You know, mothers have a way of feeling everything that their children are going through. Mothers have that ability. They know when their child is in pain. They know when their child is in trouble. They catch. They can feel. And so, in the same way, this is thought power. The child remembers the mother quickly get a message. My child is remembering me. I wonder what is happening to him. I hope he is okay. I hope he is not in trouble. So if we have that same kind of, let's call it, relationship, mental relationship, not verbal, we're having a mental relationship with someone who we are not having a good relationship with. It's not that we are playing on anyone's mind. No, we don't play on people's mind. But we are having good wishes for this person so that he can change the way he thinks, whatever way it may be, and start having a better relationship with me. It happens with employees and their boss and employers a lot. So here the employees go to work and just waiting for when the boss comes. When the boss walks in, everyone gets run to their seat, and everyone pretend to be doing their work, and everyone pretend to be good, knowing that boss comes in every day, angry, upset, all of these things. So why did the boss come in angry? Why does the boss come in angry every day? All these employees are creating that image of that boss. So what do you expect in return? So who is to be blamed? If I am not having a good relationship with you, who is to be blamed? Not you, but me. Because let's say you are upset or angry for whatever reason, and I also am upset and angry, then we cannot have a conversation. But if I am peaceful, if I am loving, caring, then this attitude of mine will be such to help you to change your attitude towards me. So where is the change coming from? Not from the other individual, but from me. So in many instances, every individual have to start looking at themselves and not at the other person. Because many a times it is not because of the other person, but because of me. But because we haven't learned to look at ourselves, we quickly blame someone else. And it's very easy to blame someone else. So we just blame someone else and leave the story right there. And no one ever really take that time to look at themselves. How many times do we really sit and look at ourselves inside and see what is happening to us inside? Am I carrying hurt? Am I carrying pain? Am I carrying a grudge? Am I carrying revenge? Am I carrying all of these things? What am I carrying? Because whatever you are carrying is what will eventually come out. And so when you face with this person who you think that you cannot talk with because he's always aggressive, when you face with him, what will come out of your mouth? The same thing that you expect him. The same thing you expect from him. So who is to be blamed? In the end, it is each one of us. So we should take this time to really sit down and look at ourselves a lot and see where are our weaknesses, where are our defects, where I need to grow, what I need to grow, where I need to change, what I need to develop. and start looking at ourselves instead of looking at others.
Now, there are a lot of individuals that will challenge you on this and say, well, the other person is doing this and they will obviously have a million and one reasons why they are justified in acting that way. What would prevent someone from doing this exercise, from putting it into practice? What will be the key to unlocking then the potential? What prevents people from trying?
Sometimes our own ego comes in the way, and we think that, well, we are not the one that is wrong, we are always right, because everyone thinks that they are right. So, as I mentioned previously, that when there is ego in the relationship, it doesn't allow us to see even that I have a fault also, because my ego is on the top. My ego is working more than anything else. So my ego doesn't allow me to see that I have an issue also. I have a problem, or I am the problem. So the ego makes me see others instead of myself. So when we do reflections and meditations, we begin to look at ourselves more. Instead of looking at others only, we begin to look at ourselves. And so I invite you into a few minutes of meditation before we close. So once again, I invite you to sit quietly wherever you may be. Just find a comfortable position and sit and reflect for the next few minutes. And as I sit in this quiet and silent mindset, I think about what is happening inside of me. What is going on in my mind? And as I reflect, I ask myself, how am I internally? Why am I not at peace with myself? And if I am not at peace with myself, then who or what is responsible? Is it someone else that is responsible for my peace of mind? Is it external situations and circumstances? Is it some external influence that robs me of my peace of mind? Or is it myself? Is it me who allows external influences or the attitude and the nature of someone else to disturb my peace of mind? Who or what is responsible for my peace of mind? And whilst I reflect, I begin to realize that no one and nothing is more important to me than my peace of mind. And in order for my peace of mind not to be disturbed, I must learn to let go of external situations and circumstances. I must learn to let go of the behavior and attitude of others that I have allowed to disturb me for a long time. Understanding that I cannot change anyone but myself, I begin to pay attention to my mind and my peace of mind in such a way where I consciously do not allow any external influence to disturb me, to rob me of my peace, or to destroy my happiness. In order to do this, I must learn to let go. I must learn to detach my thoughts and my feelings from everything that robs me of my peace of mind. Because I begin to understand that I am peace, I am love, I am happiness. Om Shanti.
Join us globally every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Sankhya Television as Parental Alienation Awareness International Network, PAIN, presents Ambassador Extraordinaire Brahma Kumari's Sister Silverine Mangru with the series From Pain to Healing.
This program is sponsored by Sampex Limited, networking societies for a better future.